from moldy ribs that made Gordon vomit.
Jesus Christ almighty. Oh, God.
To ferry owners screaming at their customers.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Are you kidding me right now? No, I'm kidding, and fuck you! Not kidding you, and fuck you!
Call the police!
Pay the money! No, I want the money from him!
I am calling the police, you guys are fucking
No,
crazy.
he's not calling the police!
I know, but...
These are the most insane moments in Kitchen Nightmares history, starting with the only restaurant so out of control that Gordon Ramsay did something he'd never done before. He walked away. Amy's Baking Company from Kitchen Nightmares Season 6, Episode 16 is still one of the wildest episodes fans remember. Instead of asking for help and working with Gordon Ramsay, owners Amy and Sammy Bugazlo shocked everyone with their anger, denial, and dramatic reactions that quickly spiraled out of control.
It's sloppy. Yeah, kind of doughy.
What?
They say it's not cooked enough. 2B.
2B? Okay, Amy.
What?
2B is not cooked enough. Put it again in the oven.
Sure, I'll burn it for
Okay,
them.
this is not cooked enough.
Amy believed her food was perfect. She refused to listen to customers who had complaints. Instead of improving, she argued and fired back at them, often raising her voice and blaming others. Her defensive attitude made it impossible for anyone to give her advice, and her refusal to admit fault created chaos inside the restaurant.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Are you kidding me right
No, I'm kidding, and fuck you! Not kidding you, and fuck you!
Call the police!
Pay the money! No, I want the money from him!
I am calling the police, you guys are fucking
No,
crazy.
he's not calling the police!
I know, but...
Sammy, on the other hand, had his own issues. He took the server's tips, which made the staff unhappy and angry. He also clashed with customers, yelling and fighting whenever someone complained. Instead of creating a warm, welcoming place to eat, both Amy and Sammy built a toxic environment filled with tension, fear, and constant arguments. Gordon Ramsay tried to help, but it quickly became clear that the couple didn't want to change. For the first and only time in the show's history, Gordon walked away. He told them he couldn't help because they were too close-minded and unwilling to accept the truth, leaving the restaurant as one of the rare cases he gave up on. The episode soon went viral. Viewers couldn't believe what they had seen, and clips spread all over the internet. Amy and Sammy became famous, but not in the way they had hoped. Their reputation turned into a meme, and people mocked their behavior worldwide.
Good luck. Wow.
It's good, what you want.
Yeah, of course that's what I wanted. Participate in this bullshit.
In the end, the restaurant closed in 2015, remembered not for its food, but for its explosive drama. In the end, Amy's Baking Company closed in 2015. The fame didn't save them, and their stubbornness led to the downfall of the business. Today, the episode is remembered as one of the most shocking and entertaining moments in reality TV. It's a perfect example of how denial and anger can ruin both a restaurant and its owner's image. One wrote saying, "She's completely insane, I'm speechless." Another said, "You know damn well the producers met these two and knew they were about to have an incredible episode full of crazy on their hands." While Amy and Sammy shocked viewers with their anger, the next restaurant owner became famous for something completely different, being absolutely ridiculous. Nino's Italian restaurant, featured in Kitchen Nightmares Season 6, Episode 10, gave viewers one of the most bizarre and memorable characters in the show's history. The star of the episode wasn't just the food or the failing business, it was Nino himself, with his eccentric behavior and over-the-top personality. From the moment Gordon Ramsay walked in, Nino made sure all eyes were on him. He loudly introduced himself to customers with the now famous line, "Hello, my name's Nino." His dramatic entrance and larger-than-life energy quickly became a running joke, and later a meme online. Nino even described himself as the superhero of the restaurant, convinced he was the one holding everything together.
I see that all the time, and that's why I kind of stay back from here, because I love this damn restaurant. And to see it just being run down drives me freaking crazy.
The reality, however, was very different. Despite Nino's constant claims that he cleaned every day, Gordon quickly discovered the restaurant was filthy. From dirty floors to grimy surfaces, it was clear that Nino's words didn't match the state of the place. This denial frustrated both his family and Ramsay, who struggled to get Nino to take responsibility. Family drama was another big part of the episode. Nino clashed with his relatives, who accused him of being lazy and not taking the business seriously. Heated arguments broke out in front of Gordon, creating explosive and awkward moments that viewers couldn't forget. Nino's mix of defensiveness, strange antics, and dramatic outbursts made the episode both frustrating and hilarious to watch.
He had the initiative, the assertiveness to take over. We wouldn't be in this situation. Okay, so Nino just continually stands there And that's the frustrating thing right now, because I look and he's like in my right peripheral at all times.
Although the episode gave the restaurant a surge of attention, Nino's Italian restaurant eventually closed in 2016. Still, Nino's eccentric behavior lives on in internet culture. His over-the-top introduction and superhero attitude became iconic among fans of the show. Today, the episode is remembered as one of the most entertaining in Kitchen Nightmares, with Nino standing out as one of reality TV's most unforgettable personalities. One person wrote, "A German immigrant runs an Italian restaurant in America, getting help from a British guy, loving it." Another said, "I swear, Nino is like a walking meme in the Kitchen Nightmares community. This particular episode is the most iconic, and it still is to this day. I dare say that this is equally as memorable as the Amy's Baking Company episode. But if Nino was funny in his delusion, this next kitchen was so disgusting it made Gordon physically sick to his stomach." Fiesta Sunrise from Kitchen Nightmares Season 2, Episode 9 is often called one of the grossest and most shocking episodes of the whole series. The Mexican restaurant, run by owner Vic and his stepdaughter Patty, was already in big trouble. But what Gordon Ramsay found inside made it clear why the place was failing. The problems showed up right away. The restaurant had almost no structure and very poor management. Vic acted like he knew what he was doing, but in reality he didn't have control at all. When Gordon stepped into the kitchen, he saw things that horrified both him and the viewers. The most famous moment came when he discovered refried beans stored inside a trash can. Seeing food in something meant for garbage was enough to make anyone sick.
What's that?
The bean.
Oh, how? It's like a cement mixer. Are you fucking stupid?
But that wasn't the only problem. Gordon found spoiled food everywhere, from meat that had gone bad to dishes that looked unsafe. To make things worse, cockroaches were crawling inside the equipment and even in some of the food. It was beyond disgusting. Instead of serving tasty Mexican meals, the kitchen was putting customers' health at serious risk. Gordon knew he couldn't let people eat there. In a dramatic moment, he shut down service in the middle of the day. He even walked out to the dining room and explained to customers that it wasn't safe to eat the food. The shocked faces of the diners showed just how bad the situation had become.
Vic. After all the mistakes you made and all the crap you're telling me, tonight, you were great!
Sadly, Fiesta Sunrise didn't make it. The restaurant was already drowning in debt, and Vic's poor choices meant there was no way back. In fact, it closed down before the episode even aired. Still, Fiesta Sunrise lives on as one of the most unforgettable Kitchen Nightmares episodes, remembered for its shocking kitchen and total mismanagement. One person wrote, "Imagine you're eating peacefully and all of a sudden Gordon Ramsay storms out of the kitchen and tells you to put down whatever you're eating. I would probably cry." Another said, "Vic is the type of person to microwave expired food to kill off the bacteria." While rotten food was horrifying enough, this next restaurant proved that sometimes the very first episode sets the bar for disaster. Bonaparte's was the very first restaurant featured on Kitchen Nightmares, UK, Season 1, Episode 1. This small place in Silsden, West Yorkshire, was already in big trouble, and Gordon Ramsay quickly showed viewers why it was failing. The head chef, Tim, was only 21 years old. He was young and eager, but he didn't have the skills or experience to run a restaurant kitchen. One of the most shocking moments in the episode came when Tim served Gordon scallops that were spoiled. The seafood was so bad that Gordon actually threw up after tasting it. It was a dramatic scene that showed just how unsafe and poorly run the kitchen really was.
I didn't know they were off.
They're fucking minging. Do you not taste that?
I do now, yeah. Took a while till now.
The menu was another huge problem. Bonaparte served fancy dishes that didn't match with what the local people wanted. Instead of simple, fresh meals, customers got complicated plates that felt outdated and unappealing. Because of this, the dining room stayed empty most nights. The locals had no reason to eat there, and the restaurant kept losing money. Gordon tried to help by suggesting big changes. He told the owners and Tim to make the menu simple, focus on quality, and serve food that people in the area would actually enjoy. But putting these ideas into action wasn't easy. Tim struggled in the kitchen, and arguments made progress even slower.
Fucking stir inside. We've got soup, chicken, lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
Let's go and surprise Mum and Dad, shall we? Let's go round to their house and you cook their tea.
Okay.
Curated de jus, sauce for the chicken Kiev.
When Gordon came back later to see if things had improved, he was disappointed. The restaurant looked even worse than before. The owners eventually decided to fire Tim, but the damage had already been done. Bonaparte soon closed its doors for good.
There you go.
Should not be in.
You didn't see this, Sue?
No, I didn't actually. In fairness to Tim, it was doing okay. It seemed to be okay for the first 3 days, and then it went. And then
This is not right. This is fucking miles away. This is a nightmare, you know that?
Even though the restaurant failed, this first episode made TV history. It introduced viewers to the drama, shocking kitchen discoveries, and tough love that would make kitchen nightmares famous around the world. One person wrote, "A 21-year-old head chef who has never made an omelette, never bought food and doesn't know what bray means. Gee, I wonder why the restaurant failed." Another wrote, "Apparently young Tim dreamed of being a chef after putting together a bowl of cereal. But if one young chef was inexperienced, this seafood restaurant showed what happens when neglect turns deadly." Seascape, featured in Kitchen Nightmare Season 3, Episode 12, was a seafood restaurant in Islip, New York, that turned into one of the most shocking episodes of the series. The restaurant had once been popular, but by the time Gordon Ramsay arrived, it was drowning in debt and serving food that was downright dangerous. The problems became clear as soon as Gordon stepped into the kitchen. What he found was horrifying. Moldy food was left sitting out, seafood was rotten, and the kitchen was filthy from top to bottom. For a restaurant that specialized in seafood, the conditions were not only disgusting but also a serious health risk. Gordon was so disturbed that he shut down the restaurant immediately and ordered a full deep clean before anyone could be served again. Even after the cleaning, the staff struggled to change. One of the biggest obstacles was the head chef, Doug. He was stubborn and defensive, refusing to taste the new dishes Gordon introduced to improve the menu. A chef who wouldn't taste his own food shocked Gordon, and it became clear Doug wasn't willing to put in the effort to save the restaurant. His attitude eventually led to his firing, a dramatic moment that showed just how badly things had gone wrong. Despite Gordon's efforts to give Seascape a second chance with fresh ideas and a cleaner environment, the restaurant couldn't recover. The debt was too heavy, the management too weak, and the reputation too damaged. Not long after filming, Seascape closed its doors in 2007. The episode is remembered as one of the most disturbing examples of neglect in the show's history. It highlighted just how quickly a restaurant can fall apart when cleanliness, quality, and pride in the food are completely forgotten. One person wrote saying, "Man, I love Chef Ramsay's approach. He's an asshole to assholes and a nice guy to nice people. He tailors his approach depending on the individual's personality." Another said, "This episode was just sad. He wasn't stubborn because of pride, he was stubborn because it worked in the past with his mom and dad and he wants to carry on their memory in some way. I'm so happy to learn the restaurant did well after this. He deserves the world." While moldy seafood was bad enough, this next kitchen had something so revolting that Gordon couldn't keep it down. Casa Roma, shown in Kitchen Nightmares Season 3, Episode 7, was an Italian restaurant in Lancaster, California. It was run by a mother and her son, who had very little experience running a business. By the time Gordon Ramsay arrived, the place was falling apart, and what he found inside the kitchen shocked both him and viewers.
Jesus. Soggy. Tasteless. There's not even crab or any form of flavour or texture or anything in there, but what worries me more than anything, they're just full of water. What is it?
From the very beginning, the food was a disaster. Gordon discovered moldy ribs and ham hidden in the kitchen. When he tried to taste them, the smell and taste were so bad that he actually vomited. It was one of the most unforgettable moments of the episode and showed just how unsafe the food really was.
What is that there? Just meat defrosting. Again, no sign of what it is. Fresh Parma ham is caked in mould. This is outrageous. Look at it.
The problems didn't stop there. Gordon also found dishes that were dripping with grease. The food was so oily that he could squeeze it like a sponge. Instead of fresh Italian meals, customers were getting heavy, greasy plates that no one wanted to eat.
Whoa, fucking hell. That's just over 3 months old. Jesus Christ almighty.
The kitchen itself was filthy and disorganized. Spoiled ingredients were lying around, and the cooks seemed careless about what they were serving. During one dinner service, things got so bad that Gordon shut down the restaurant in the middle of the night. He told customers that it wasn't safe to eat the food. This rare move showed just how serious the problems were. Gordon did his best to help the owners. He introduced new recipes, tried to improve the kitchen, and gave advice on how to run the place properly. But the mother and son didn't have the skills or the leadership needed to keep things going. Their inexperience made it nearly impossible to save Casa Roma.
Eric.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I have your undivided attention?
Sure.
Nothing's happening. We've served one table of 4, one table of 2. For the last 3 tickets, half the order's gone out, half is still on the board. You haven't got a clue what's going on. You're running around crazy. What chance have we got serving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Not long after filming, the restaurant closed its doors for good. Casa Roma is remembered as one of the most shocking episodes of Kitchen Nightmares, filled with greasy food, moldy meat, and a complete lack of control. It stands out as a clear example of how bad management and unsafe cooking can destroy a restaurant. One person wrote, "There's nothing better than watching Kitchen Nightmares while eating mediocre but delicious food." Another said, "I love how whenever the wait is too long, Gordon just starts disassembling the restaurant. Like always, what a legend." But if greasy food and lies were infuriating, this final restaurant's owner's ego was so massive it created one of Gordon's most legendary meltdowns. Mill Street Bistro, shown in Kitchen Nightmare Season 6, Episodes 11 and 12, is one of the most dramatic stories in the series. The restaurant was located in Norwalk, Ohio, and owned by Joe Nagy. From the very beginning, Joe came across as arrogant, stubborn, and full of excuses. He bragged about his skills and his farm-to-table food, but Gordon Ramsay quickly found out most of it was not true.
Then you need to find another place to work. I come to win. I didn't come to fuck up.
I don't think Joe can see past his ego.
I know that Tommy and me are handsome guys. Don't come back here and stare at us.
Joe doesn't realize his actions.
Joe claimed that all of his ingredients were fresh and locally sourced. In reality, Gordon discovered freezers full of food. Much of what Joe served was frozen, not fresh. This went against everything Joe advertised, and it made his farm-to-table image look like a complete lie. Customers thought they were paying for quality, but they were getting the opposite. The menu was another huge problem. Joe's prices were way too high for the small-town community. Diners weren't willing to pay fancy, big-city prices for average food that didn't live up to the hype. Instead of adapting, Joe insisted he knew best, which only pushed more people away.
They would have been more consistently cooked. I have been eating elk for 30 years. Do you have it on your menu?
Seasonally.
You explained to me what the game season is.
So it's when
Okay.
game
Okay.
is at its absolute best.
This is back in Scotland.
On top of that, Joe treated his staff terribly. He demanded silence in the dining room and created strange rules that made it hard for servers to even talk to each other. The staff felt trapped, stressed, and unappreciated. Many of them admitted they were miserable working under him. The most unforgettable moment came when Gordon finally lost his patience. He called Joe out in front of everyone, exposing his lies and blasting his attitude. The staff, who had been suffering for so long, cheered Gordon on. It was a powerful moment that showed just how much they wanted change. After the episode, the restaurant tried to rebrand as Maple City Tavern, but the reputation was already ruined.
Do you usually go to restaurants and rip them apart like that? That's what's pissing me off.
Joe, it's not working. You've built up this level.
And the problems were too deep. By 2016, the business closed for good. Mill Street Bistro is remembered as one of the most entertaining Kitchen Nightmares episodes ever. Joe's ego, the fake farm-to-table claims, and Gordon's fiery takedown created TV gold. It's a perfect example of how arrogance, lies, and poor leadership can destroy a restaurant, no matter how fancy it tries to look. One wrote saying, "It's raw, what's the matter with you?" He genuinely sounded so distressed, like he was despairing at the very thought of that. Another said, "To me this was by far the best episode of the US Kitchen Nightmares. Joe is on another level and the entertainment value is maxed out." While one person wrote, "I know Gordon tries not to flex his own success, but the I can cook was so satisfying and well-deserved." From explosive fights to filthy kitchens Gordon had to shut down, Kitchen Nightmares delivered some of the most shocking TV moments ever. Every episode had drama, chaos, and unforgettable meltdowns that fans still talk about today. Which restaurant disaster left you speechless? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wild reality TV breakdowns every week.